Hey everybody, Kai Lauren. This is your Thursday tidbit this week, and I was asked to talk to you about organization. And for those of you who saw my post earlier in the week of my office, you might be watching this and wondering, why is she talking to me about anything organization related? But luckily for you, I'm not going to talk about organization in your personal life. I'm going to talk about organization in your business. So, we'll call this organized chaos instead, because that's probably more appropriate for me. There's two things that I want to cover, and it's organization for my own business and organization for my team and my team page. And so the first thing is my own business. Of course, we know that's most important. And so there are 4 things that I tell myself I want to make sure to do every day. And those are my 4 priorities. They always have to come first before I even get to my team stuff. And so the 4 things are, every day I do a first generation check-in, and I have all my first generation elites in a thread, and I check in on them, I make sure they're okay. And it's just, some days it's as little as just sending them a funny joke, just so that I always have that connection maintained with them, so that they know that I'm there. I mean, those are my leaders. Those are the people who keep my team together. That next one is some kind of check-in that's customer related. And that can be anything. I mean, it can be reaching out for follow-up. It can be sending a photograph or a video of a new product to somebody. Anything that's just, one thing, at least one thing where I'm reaching out to one of my current or future customers. Third thing is sponsoring related, and so I'm reaching out to a potential. And right now I'm doing a February challenge with my team where we're building, and every day we build, we reach out to one more person. So that's what I'm focusing on right now. On the first we did 1, and the second we did 2, and so on. And then the 4th thing is reaching out to what I call my working circle. And those are the people in my circle who, I'm studying the back office, and I see they're active, they want this. And some of them are 3rd and 4th line, or even farther down, but the ones who are really deserving of that time, because I consider my time the best resource I can offer to them. And so even though some of those things are actually team related, those are the things that I feel are the 4 categories that are essential to my own personal business. So I'm trying to cover those every day. And then the second part is organization for my team, and how do I organize what I post to them. So, I try to follow. I went to law school. I'm very methodical. Everything is about step by step, and so, I try to follow that same pattern every day and really stick to it. There's a concept called Parkinsons Law that we used to joke about a lot when I was a practicing attorney. And the theme is the work that you have will expand to fit the time that's allotted. And so we all see this in real life. Maybe when you're in high school and you have 2 weeks to write a paper, and you say, I'm going to work on it today, I'm going to work on it tomorrow, and you maybe stare at a blank screen on a computer or a blank piece of paper, and even though you have a long time to do it, you don't get a lot done. But then the flip side is, look at your business, and maybe it's the last day of the month and you're $400 off from your goal. You're going to be out there working every second, fitting that work into 4 hours if you have it, making sales or drumming up business. And so for me, I realized really early on that I'm a last minute person. That's when I'm best. And so the only way that I could set out goals for a month and not put them off until the last day of the month was every day had to be a deadline for me. And so, I try to look at my business in 24-hour increments. And so I have I have my notes app open on my MacBook all the time, and I'll start at the beginning of the week, I break it out. Okay, here's Monday. Here's what I have to do Monday for my team. Here's what I have to do Tuesday. And I go through and I actually check them off as I'm getting through it. So the method I try to use for posting to my team is, first thing I wake up and I'm going to the Black page. I'm seeing what pertinent information is there, what they need to know right now. And then I am also going to my other leader pages because, I'm sure that's, as is the case with a lot of you, my leaders are better than me. And a lot of times they have information on their page that is really useful for my team. So I'll take that. I always give them credit because they need that recognition too, right? And I'm a big recognition person. And the next thing I do is I'm going to my back office. On my team page, every time someone requalifies as elite for the month, I always shout them out. So, first thing I'm looking, were there any new elites in the night or this morning? I'm also scanning that back office to see if there's anyone who's really standing out that deserves a shout out. Start there. And then once I get through that, once I get through my informational posts, the next thing I want to do is I get to my, what I call inspirational posts. And sometimes it's as easy as, post a quote that's really speaking to you today. But, a lot of the posts, my inspirational posts, they'll take me months. And, so I'm going to use an example for you that Katrina, I guess, could help me with. And, when I was talking to her about being asked to speak on this topic, she said, it would be really helpful if you would talk about organizing your thoughts for posts like this. So what I do is I'll have an idea for a post that I want to connect with my team. And I know we all get these like, oh my gosh, I have a great idea. They need to know about it right now. But what I learned is I have these things I think are great ideas and I post them to my team and like 2 people like it because it's just kind of like word vomit. It's not thought out. I haven't done it in a way that I could really connect with them. So now what I do is I get that idea, I open that notes app on my MacBook and I have a huge list of all the different ideas I want to post to them and I add it. And then I go back and I look for some kind of real world inspiration that I can use to connect to them. So the example I use is, Katrina helped me craft one about being stuck at a color level and how we want to change the mindset about what it means to be stuck. And, so I had that idea. And then I went to yoga and it's the end of class and they make you lay there forever and I want to get up and be out the door because that I have 100 other things to do. And the yoga instructor read my mind and says, I know you all want to be up and out the door, but this is the most important part of your practice. It's just as important as working hard. You have to focus on just enjoying the moment. There's always a next thing to move on to. And so I thought, oh, that's so great that, I'm talking about being stuck at a color level and I can tie this in about what it means to enjoy being where you are instead of always feeling like you have to get to the next thing. So I go back and I add my real world application. And then I go back and I outline everything. And so for all of those posts, I try to keep it in the same format: idea, real world connection, and then takeaway. And so I have it fully outlined before I ever post it to my team. And then I add a cute graphic or, a photograph that's applicable. And, that way it really helps me to stay on topic. And so, I have posts that I'm working on right now that my team probably won't see until April, but I know that when I'm putting them out there, they're going to be crafted in a way that I hope will actually reach people because I think that's a big part of the job we're trying to do. And then the last thing I want to cover is a reward system. We're really big on reward systems for our team, like the 100 no's, for example. You get 100 no's, you treat yourself to a manicure. But it's so important that we have that for ourselves as well. And so, I went over the 4 topics that I try to hit every day. And what I tell myself is, if I can hit 3 of those, I'll treat myself to a latte or treat myself to a manicure or do something today, because the reality is I don't get to it every day. None of us ever get to it every day. So I want to do that without guilt. I did this not to have a boss. I don't consider myself anyone else's boss. I'm out there just trying to share the knowledge that I have, like we all are. And, if they want to take it and run with it, if the customers want to take the opportunity to have a great product, if the potentials want to take the opportunity to be part of this awesome company, I want to facilitate that for them. But if they don't, I'm not going to feel guilty over it as long as I'm trying to bring them that information. So I hope that was somewhat helpful for you, and thanks for watching. Have a great Thursday. Bye.